Hi guys, it's Promise Sebastian here again. Okay guys, it's another wonderful Wednesday, and today I brought up the topic called creativity booster. Okay, you guys would know from my tutorials that I sincerely want everyone to grow. Like, it hurts me when I see chaotic designs, it hurts my eyes. So I sincerely want everyone to grow. So I came up with this tutorial. I called it I tagged it creativity booster because I'm going to explain a whole lot of stuff about flyer designs and how to go about. There's a whole lot I'm going to explain here about flyer design. It's practical steps and approach to flyer design, and I'm also gonna design a flyer after this tutorial. Okay guys, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna start by getting a blank background, so I will need a white background now. So I'll go over to this background interface now. So white, and it's telling me that if I click it now, everything is good. So now everything is good. So first, let's start with backgrounds. Colors started with plain colors now, but colors have graduated from plain colors now to gradient. You have a whole lot of interesting gradients you could use on your flyers. Dark purple gradient, you could make this purple from this is the lighter part and this is the darker part, dark purple like this, or you could try as something like this. You could try as more like some of a blue, somewhere here, and in the middle, somewhere light, somewhere here. Okay, and okay, so guys, dark backgrounds, that is where they tell you use colors that contrast when designing. Use colors that are contrasting when designing. Let's say this is a text now. Let me get another text. This is a text now I brought in now, and still on the background topic, and let me just type in something: creativity. So this is creativity now. If you can see, this color is contrasting really well from this white. Like, I can see these colors well, though this is not a rampant color, but trust me, if you are to design with this color now, it will be good. Design with this color with white, it will be good. So also is this purple color I just generated from this. Okay, you see, this is contrasting. Now if I'm to use this color for my design, and you see that it will be really nice. That's why you see most people now use the probably dark colors like dark blue gradient, dark green gradient. Okay, so because they are contrasting, they want to use white, or probably they want to use white or include some other bright colors alongside. So using those white and some other bright colors brings out the text, brings out the design and the whole colors. Okay, it brings out the text, it brings out whatever it is there, and it makes the design looks very, very perfect. Let me just type coming. So I could work with this thing now. I'm starting with flyer design, which is gonna go well with this color. Okay, so use colors that contrast, and that's it. When working with background, use colors that contrast. If you're using blue, you blue and white, use a blue that is contrasting enough. You could use plain colors, but don't use it at most. Include gradient, because gradient gives your design this vibe that you really don't want to miss. Okay, use more of gradient. You could use plain colors, but use more of gradient because it brings out this vibe that you wouldn't want to miss on your design. Okay, there's a whole lot of gradients you could use. I've shared you guys a color app, which I did a tutorial also on my channel here. A color app you could use to add colors and do a whole lot of stuff on color. I shared you guys that color app there, so you could go use it and find colors. I told you use colors that contrast. Using a color like this now in your design won't look perfect, won't look creative, because it's not contrasting. This color is light and the background color is light here, and this one is light also. But look at the one I recently created now. You see, it's very much contrasting and you could see the colors. Okay, so use gradient colors like you saw as I created this one. Now let me head over to the color now. This is the darker part and this is the lighter part. Okay, so it makes it looks as if the light there is dispersing from the middle, and it looks creative. Okay, you could also change the gradient pattern. It must not be the same. Okay, there's a whole lot of gradient pattern here. Just know that you miss, for you to get nice gradient, you miss a darker part of color, which is somewhere like here, with a lighter part of the color, which from here now. Most gradients often miss the darker part with the lighter part. That what brings the gradient out. Okay, so with this technique you could create awesome background, and don't also forget to work with white background. Okay, so let me try to get a white color now. You could work with most white is the most versatile color, so working with white background is not a problem. So pay attention to working with white simple background. Okay, don't get by trying to make it too creative you then make everything rough or too distracted. Okay, let it be simple. You could even use plain white if you just feel like, okay, you could use plain white if you don't have much materials to engage it, or you could just add a whole lot of stuff. There's a whole lot of stuff you could do to engage this background. Okay, that is it for the background. Okay, let's go back to the brief and caption. Okay, so I think most flyer designs, I'm gonna be opening a project that is saved for this tutorial. Okay, so this is the project here. So I think most flyer designs, like you see this one now, comes with the caption first before you see other stuff that come, and something like this came with a text first before the caption. Okay, so it depends on the keyword. That is it. That is what you should note. Okay, from this now you could see that the keyword we needed here is this pricing now, but from this now the keyword I wanted to bring to people's notice was this what you think. That was the keyword I wanted to bring. So some flyers can be tricky. Somebody might give you a flyer design like with the caption or with a brief introductory brief which is going to contain the caption. You hear something like graphic designers Twitter space section on pricing. Okay, you know that the pricing is the topic now. This pricing now is the topic which is very crucial that people need to see. So it's your caption. So you could create something like let me close this guy up now, so I'll get a text now. Now graphic designer section on, together with this on, then copy on pricing. So pricing is my keyword which needs to be really big enough. So that is the caption now. So I'm going to type in the pricing so I could make it as big as the space I have. Okay, so your caption and how big it is depends on the space you have. If I don't have much stuff to type in here, if I have a whole lot of information on this flyer now, so I wouldn't want to make it big, I would just keep this flyer pricing like this. Probably use a black or bold font. Okay, recently I love using black, so it comes out really well. Okay, so I could just change the color to this other one. Okay, graphic designers, okay, this is not balanced. Something like this now is better. Graphic designers Twitter space live section on prices. So depending on the space I have, if I have much stuff to type now, I could leave this here because I'm going to add other stuffs here. But if I don't have much stuff to add, I could make this as big as possible. As big as possible. I could just adjust like this, then use my resizing here to reduce the size of this now. So, and then this is too big, we increase it too big, so I could just reduce a little bit. So with this now, I've covered up space. It's kind of clinging too much, so I'll bring it down. Okay, with this now, I've covered a whole lot of space now, so I might just type only date and put picture now, and this flyer will be okay. Because of what, I don't have much stuff, that's why I made this caption big. But if I have much stuff to type, this caption wouldn't be big. Okay, so you could walk around with captions, and that's the main thing. Then note your keyword. If it's graphic designers, we want to make keyword now, so we'll make graphic designer really big now, so these other ones now will now come under. So this is going to be a graphic design now, and this one is going to come under like this now, and you see something like this is still usable, you know. So then, or something like this, or anyone at the top. Okay, so there needs to be a caption on your design. That's what you should know. There needs to be a caption on the design, something like this now. Then even if after this now there will still be another writing on that, is still okay. So but what you want to do now is either you reduce this one really well, or you increase this one a little bit. So this and this cannot be the same size. Okay, it's graphic designing, it's not writing. If it's writing, you just write everything at the same. Since it's graphic designing, so you walk around a whole lot of stuff, you add aesthetics to it. That is the aesthetic they are talking about. So either this now you make it smaller and leave this big now, or you make this one smaller. So you could just make 13 here, 13 now, and then you increase this one. Most of the times when designing flyer, you have to finish before it looks okay. Most of the times it does not look okay if you just start. Most people will just start and they start looking somehow, they will just drop on the way. No, most of the times it does not look okay. And you could also tweak colors, okay? You could also tweak colors. That's another thing there. You could also tweak colors. Looking at this now, that this is almost similar to the same stuff we have here now. So we might want to tweak the color of this one to something else to increase the brightness of the blue here. Also, I'm going to reduce a little bit. So it's just so it looks like it, but it's not that far from it. Okay, with this now we could work with these two now. Okay, so that is it. This one has to be smaller than, they can't just be like, you can't just copy this one and keep. No, either this one is really small than this one, or this one is very small than this one. Okay, it's called graphic designing. That is what makes it okay. So that is it. Note your keyword, what you are using. If it's graphics you are using as keyword, that means this is, let's say this is a graphic, is going to be on top and this is going to be below. Okay, because it came first, graphic designer, so it has to come first, graphics designers, then you start writing the other rest beneath. Okay, so then let's go over to other paragraphs. I think I explained to them together, which is this one's the other paragraphs. They shouldn't be big. They should be, at least you could maintain a size of 18, 16, 17, 15, okay, for these paragraphs here. So for here now, you could I told you guys, if this one should be big, because if it's among the captions, that means it should be big. If it's among the captions, it should be big. And this one also be which is the keyword, is very much big. So this one now could be something to explain more of the caption, so it should be lesser. So when this one now is going to be very small is when it doesn't really join the caption. Okay, it was just something they wrote, probably present, or they want to just, okay. So but once that among the caption, it should be bigger than this other one, this other paragraph below. Okay, so guys, that is it again. So you could have your picture now. So let me just get a shape now to change this to a picture color of yellow. Let me just use yellow for this now. Okay, so this is yellow, guys, now, and I'm gonna copy again, and this is yellow, and I think it's too big now, so we are going to reduce it so it's not that much big. Okay, so we can copy this now. Let me just say I have 3 speakers and place here. Okay, okay guys, you could have so many speakers. I would want to move these guys up. So you could have so many speakers, it might be more than this 4, so you could just keep adding and keep adding. Okay, it must not be this arrangement. Okay, I'm just giving you guys the idea. Okay, so with this arrangement now, so, and avoid stuff like somebody will want to go and start adding some stuff that doesn't make sense. Add stuff that you know that makes sense, that at least you've seen from other flyers. Okay, so if we want to tweak this a little now, we could just make some side of it. Let's say we'll make this bottom curved, or we'll make below curved, or for a start just leave it as square. Okay, just leave it as square for a start. Before you start twerking, you need to grow first. Before, that's the main thing, you need to grow first before you start twerking. If they are speakers, so you could get a shape, add icons to show that they are speakers. Let me just copy this. You could get a shape now, a circle shape, and you add beneath it, change color. You could change the color definitely to this navy blue, this blue now, this other blue. So, and that is it. Okay, mind the way you use colors. You could just stick to 4. Don't play around with colors, and don't use gradient for writing. Okay, you could use gradient colors for background, but using it for writing, most of the times you could use it for the caption, but using it for paragraph text does not make sense. It will not make sense if you're using a gradient for a paragraph text. It does not make sense. You could use it for the caption, but don't use a gradient color for paragraph text. And most shapes like image shape. Okay, so you could add the buttons, then you could place the name below, and when writing them, you would want to tweak names. Okay, I told you guys earlier, it's called graphic design, it's not called writing, so you shouldn't just copy everything and write. So you could tweak, let's say it's Promise Sebastian now. So this is Promise Sebastian now. Let me just resize this now, so it fits in. Okay, so it's not being seen now, so I'll just make it something like this now. So and then put it below here. Okay, so we would want to tweak this thing now. By tweaking it, I mean you could make just promise. Promise now should be semi-bold now. So you could make Sebastian, because Sebastian is my surname, which people really shouldn't pay attention to. Is the promise they should pay attention to. So you could make promise bold and Sebastian probably regular. Okay, regular. Then what I do, probably all those stuffs, you could just copy and type in what they do. You could use another font, even though it's italic. Let me just leave it as creative director. Creative director. Creative director and YouTuber. Okay, with this now you see that it's really long, and not everybody will want to read this thing, so you could just resize it really small. So let me just leave it at the size of 9 now. So, and I want to change it to an italic font, so you could walk around all these things. It's called graphic design. That's the sweetness of all these things. When you add all these effects to it, it makes it looks nice. So you could play around with text than just playing around with background. Most of the time when you play around with background, it looks childish, but when you play around with text, it looks really matured. Okay, so placing this here now, so you could do the same thing I did for this one, and you see this thing is getting in place now. So I will just copy this, guys. Is having a good shape now. But at the start, it might not look as if it's okay. Have you seen that it's having a good shape? So this is it now. You have to follow these principles in graphics. With this now, you won't find flyer design really hard for you. Okay, it will just be simple. You tweak around a whole lot of stuff. If this one should be big, you cannot just, if you copy this, if I just copy this one and place here now, there won't be any difference now, and it will look distracted. So for me to create a difference, to show that this is something different and this is something different, this has to be either smaller and this has to be bigger, depending on how important it is. And let's go back to date and time. Okay, so most of the time people get issue when adding date to flyers. Okay, so you could just simply add the date with just the text. It's not much like the date must be somewhere else. So you could just type the date. May, if it's Saturday, you could just start. But what you want to do is use a bold font for it. Use a bold font, really, or even black font. Okay, so it makes it come out really well. Use a really bold font, even though it's black. So with this now, this is gonna come out really well, and it will look more mature. So you could change the color to this same color we are using now, or this other one we use for the one at the top. So this color is still good. So I'll bring it beneath now. So, and then time now. Okay, there are many ways you could add time. Okay, you could use a circle, like I used to use circle most of the times to add time. You could use a square to add time. You could use a circle to add time. So there are many ways. You could also add the time beneath here without having to add, but it will be long now. You are seeing it's gonna be long. Or you could just add the time alongside the whole stuff now. You could just add the time. If you don't want to tweak too much on it, you could just add the time also, but the time should be bigger or bolder. 5, let's say 5 p.m. But if I'm adding this 5 p.m., that means my date will be less bolder than my time. Or I wouldn't just want to type in the time together with this, because the time will be very big, because it's very important. Okay, you increase the text and whatever it is you're increasing, depending on how important that is, that element is or component. Okay, this time is really important, so the size of this time will be very big. Okay, something like this is good. Okay, something like this is good. Let me just change this date to bold instead of using this black. So it creates more working on it. Okay, you see, time is 5 p.m. bold, black. White date is 5 p.m. bold. Okay, you see, with this now, this is okay. So you could just type your location and a whole lot some other stuff, or you could, if you don't want to type the time like this, you could use a circle like me. Most of the times I use circle shapes, or use a square shape, and then you resize, place it below. Place it below, then place it below, then resize and keep it really well. You could use a circle shape, you could use a square shape. Okay, so with this now, you could just type in the time. Okay, just create balance with it. You know that if this time is here, something else needs to be here also. So you could just find something else and add here to create balance. Okay, because just leaving this here without a space and typing something else below will make it not balanced. Okay, design needs to be balanced. So then if we have an image now, probably this is pricing now, so we can then add an image that symbolizes the pricing we are talking about here, that will have enough space. Okay, since we are using left alignment. Okay, so we could add an image that talks about pricing. Okay, so guys, this is the approach here. So one more thing I want you guys to know though is you guys know how to add social media, definitely, and you can add your location and then resize. Okay, so one more thing is when designing and modeling design, it's true that apart from all these things, now the best way to grow as a designer is modeling other creative design. Okay, other creative designs. Okay, but what you should note in modeling designs, let me just get all these designs at the top. Okay, so let me make one of them visible. Let me make this one visible now. Okay, you see this design now. Most times when modeling design, okay guys, this is actually a course I created also for this creativity booster, so you could enroll for the course if you wish to learn more. Okay, when modeling designs, okay, most times you just glance at the design. That is what some creative will not tell you. They will tell you to model design. Most times you just glance at the design and head over to your own, okay, and still get hooked. Okay, so learn the skill of actually checking really well. Okay, you could zoom, you could check the caption, how we added the caption on the design, then you go back and add your own caption like that. If you get hooked on the date, you could open another design which you like the date and check how they added the date. You could see this one now. You see how I created this date and it's nice now. So you could use this and compose many designs. You doesn't have to. With this trick now, you could compose from different design. Okay, you could from this design now take the way I added this caption now, add your own caption like this, add your own creativity text like this. If whatever text, if it's this small, you could add it like, if it's not long, you could add it like this. Then for the date, you could decide not to use this other date and use this other date pattern now I created here for the same design. Okay, and go over to this design. Since these are creative designs that you know that looks nice, so following those patterns will make your own look nice also, because the one you're replicating, okay, you could model with this way. It's a trick that helped me grow. Okay, and I'm happy sharing it with you guys. So you could see as I added this probably this date, if this one will be complex, it's not related. Okay, so let's just see this one now. Let's just see this one and close this one. Okay, so you might want to add your shape divider like this. So you could decide to add your shape divider like this, and you could see as I wrote my text here, my social media icon, the arrangement. So you could arrange your own that way. Okay, so most of the times you don't just have to look at any design and ideas coming instantly. Probably they'll just tell you to go and get inspiration online, and you don't know how to get the inspiration. So this is a trick on the perfect way to get it. Pick each ones you want to do this one like this, and you follow through as I designed this one now. So you could use this shape divider and add your own text like this, and then if your own information doesn't suit like this, I suit like this one now. So you could take some stuff from here. You could add your own caption like this. I added this one like this, I added this one. You might decide not to use the beneath now. Okay, and then head over to this one now. Probably you might want to use this one. So that is how it works. Okay, it helped me grow most times. Probably you could just take the designs of your role model in design and watch all those things, watch them similarly, and learn from all those things, and you see yourself growing. Okay guys, thanks for watching this tutorial. I'm really concerned about growing everybody that is stick to my channel. Okay, so I will be happy to see you guys become a better designer, and I will know that in no time you guys are gonna be that creative designer. Okay, thanks for watching this awesome tutorial, and make sure you practice and practice and practice, okay? And trust the process. You're gonna get better. You're gonna be that creative designer you aspire to be. Okay, guys, see you next Wednesday. Don't forget to hit the subscription button, the bell button, and the notification button if you've not, so you get notified whenever I drop an awesome video like this. Okay, guys, thanks once again, and see you.